Okay, so today I want to talk about this Fenix LD30R flashlight. I got this recently. I wanted it as an everyday carry pocket flashlight. So I want to talk not so much about the specs of it, but more about how it is to use. So if you're not familiar with it, it's I'll just quickly run over the specs. It's an 18650 flashlight, kind of everyday carry purpose. Pocket, nice pocket clip, USB chargeable, fairly compact. I like it. It's there is also the PD35R, which is another very similar flashlight, but it's slightly larger. It uses a 21700 battery, so very similar. It's just slightly larger diameter. I think slightly longer as well. But the reason I got this one is I wanted something that I could carry around in my pocket quite easily, and this one's good for that. It's nice, it's slim with the 18650 battery. It doesn't have any sharp protrusions or like a bulging head or anything like that, so it fits in the pocket quite nicely. The pocket clip's great. It's got the double clip so you can clip it both ways. And USB-C rechargeable, which is great. It's actually USB PD compatible, so you can use a USB-C laptop charger. I think it charges up to 18 watts, something like that, but it's not like some of the other USB-C charging, which will only charge at like 1 amp, like using sort of an old style USB-A charger. So this is neat. I can take this, I've got a 35 watt USB-C charger I carry around with me that I use to charge my laptop and tablet. This one works with that as well. So the nice thing about this, the reason I wanted one of these, a big part of it is something kind of for more slightly defensive uses, in that if I'm walking around, someone's maybe a bit shady. For one, I can very easily just dazzle them by shining the light in their eyes. Also, I can hold this light in my fist, and it provides a bit of, it's a nice kind of striking tool where, if you've got a hammer fist, hit someone with that, it's going to hurt a lot more than if you were just using an empty fist. So that's good. And then also, you can hold it in your hand, dazzle them in the eyes, which will probably help. Just something that will maybe give you a little bit more chances if you are in that situation where you feel a bit threatened by someone. This, as far as the operation of this goes, simple tail cap switch. So momentary press, turns on, click it, it's on, turn it off. Nice and simple. I much prefer that to the flashlights with the modes where you kind of half press them to cycle through the modes, because in a stressful situation I find you might accidentally half press it and then it goes into a different mode, and it's just too much to think about if you're in that situation where you're under stress and you kind of just want a light that works either on or off. It does have a button on the side here for switching modes, and that's quite nice. You can just cycle through the modes, low, medium, high, turbo. The turbo modes are very bright. I typically use it on the medium mode, which I can't remember the specs, but it's probably something like 300 lumens, which is, I find, more than bright enough for sort of general utility tasks. The turbo mode is going to be way too bright for sort of utility modes. Often, dazzles you, those sorts of things. So having a lower mode is actually quite good. Now it does have flashing modes, which I won't put that on for too long because it is a bit dazzling. I like the concept of the strobe modes for that defensive purpose, because it is very disorienting. But one of the things I don't like about this torch is that switching modes, if you're holding it in one hand, yes, you can very easily turn it on and off, but it's not easy to cycle through the modes with it held like that. It really is a two-hand operation, or you've got to switch grip and use your thumb to change modes. And in particular, the strobe mode, that's something where you need to press and hold for half a second to switch it into the strobe mode. And that, I actually find that to be probably a disappointing thing about this light, is that the strobe mode, that's something that, if I need it, I need to access it immediately. I don't have time to change grips. It doesn't even have memory for the flashing mode, so if I turn it into the strobe mode, turn it off, then when I turn it on again, it just goes back to the normal whatever brightness you saved it at. I think it would have been much better if they had something where, let's say, it's switched off now and you press and hold the mode button, that goes straight into a strobe, something like that, because if I'm in a situation where I need to use that strobe mode, and really the only time I'm going to need to use that is if someone's attacking me, I don't want to be switching it on and then fiddling with the mode button to put it into that mode, that flashing mode. So overall, I really like this light in terms of its physical form factor. Fits in my pocket nicely, but as far as the strobe mode goes, I almost wish it didn't have it, because without being able to quickly and easily access it, it's kind of not really that useful. Being able to cycle through the modes with this side switch is quite nice, because I'm not going to accidentally change modes. And, if I'm doing some sort of utility task, I can easily change grip and then switch modes. And, I might find myself, using a low mode if I'm doing something where I don't need the extra brightness. I get better runtime. Cycle up to the bright modes if I want to spot something. But, the strobe mode I find actually just kind of useless. Overall I like it. It probably would have been nice if either that strobe mode could be activated from off, or I've seen some other lights that have got like a separate tail cap switch that you can use to change modes. That might be a bit better. Haven't actually used one of those, so I'm not too sure. Overall, I like it, but the usability of it could be better. I compare it to this old Fenix TK11, which I think is from somewhere around about 2010. I've used this one for a long time. I really like it and I still use it. The downside to it is that it doesn't have a pocket clip, and the head is quite a lot larger. You can see the difference. Like the lengthwise, these are about the same. The body is fairly similar. Maybe the TK11 is slightly larger diameter in the body, but the head is a lot bigger, and it doesn't really fit in my pocket very well, and it snags coming out. This one is nice and easy to use. This TK11, you can't get these anymore, but the mode switch is really easy to use. You just twist the head, so untwist it and it goes to low brightness. Twist the head on and it goes to high brightness. So it's very simple, just two modes, that's it. Which, admittedly it doesn't have the moonlight or eco mode that this one does. This one's got, I think it's a 1 lumen mode, and that is nice if you don't want to you want to have really good battery life, or perhaps you don't want to be drawing too much attention to yourself, just a nice low brightness mode. The TK11 doesn't have that. This one does. But in terms of how you access the modes, I do like the simplicity of just being able to twist the head to switch modes. It is very much a two-handed operation on this one, on the TK11, whereas on the LD30R, you can just switch grip and then use your thumb, so it is a bit more convenient. One nice thing I found is that I've never accidentally changed modes on this one, but the downside is when I'm holding it in sort of an ice pick grip, I can't really effectively change modes. Like, yes, you can get your little finger on it and do that, but to actually feel where that is pretty hard in the dark. You get tricked up by, on the other side, you've got the USB charging port, so not really practical, and not something you can really do from a hammer grip or ice pick grip anyway. So anyway, I think that's about it. Just wanted to give that quick review and really, like I said, focusing more on the usability and the user interface of this one. Plenty of reviews out there on the specs and how bright it is and runtime and waterproof. They're all good, but I find for me it's really important the usability of these, because like I said, my purpose for this is something I carry in my pocket. If I'm in a situation where I feel threatened, I've got something there that can help me, because look, I live in Australia and we can't carry things, anything at all, for the purposes of self-defense, even though crime is increasing very rapidly here, so it's very much more of a concern for a lot of people, and a little flashlight like this is something that can help out, because you can shine, particularly on a high brightness mode, if you shine this in someone's eyes, it's going to at least disorient them for a bit. And if you do get into a fight, well, having something like this in your hand is going to give you a bit of a small advantage compared to if you've got nothing. So that's it for today. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.